Welcome back to Navigating Possibility, the show where we explore burnout, boundaries, and the tough decisions that make our lives and our careers more sustainable. I'm your host, Dr. Christina Adams, and today we're talking about something that sounds simple until you actually try to do it. We're talking about saying no. And more specifically, what does it feel like the first time you hold a boundary? Spoiler alert, doesn't feel empowering or liberating or confident or any of the things that the Instagram quotes promise. The first time you say no, it usually feels yucky. Let's talk about why and why that yuck is actually a sign that you're doing something right. Think about the first time you did anything new in medicine, the first time you operated alone after residency, the first time you admitted a critically ill patient without someone double checking your every decision, the first time someone called you attending and expected you to know everything, right? You were looking around for the attending and realized it was you. It felt uncomfortable. It felt heavy. It felt like, wait, who let me be in charge? Your primitive brain was screaming, new thing, uncertain outcome, possible danger. And that's exactly what's happening when you say no for the first time. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a threat like a bear in the woods and a threat like disappointing someone. To your brain, it's all danger. So, of course, it feels terrible. And let's be honest, we are deep in December, which means the season of overextension. You know the drill: dress up days at school, holiday programs, class parties, white elephant exchanges, decorating, baking, card writing, wrapping. And for physicians specifically, my deductible's resetting. So now this thing that's bothered me for 6 months is an emergency and must be handled in the next 3 weeks. That phenomenon, we're busier, we're more depleted, and we're more emotionally stretched than at any other time of the year, which means we're also more vulnerable to that reflexive yes that we're conditioned to give. Saying yes is familiar. It's been what's been expected of us since we were a child. So it feels safe. It avoids conflict. And for a moment, just for a moment, it gives relief. Of course, we default to it. But let's pause here. What do we think will happen if we say no? Really think about it. If you say, I can't bake the cupcakes for the class party, or I'm not available to pick up that extra call shift, or I won't be able to host this year, what's the worst case scenario? Someone is disappointed. Maybe someone judges you. Maybe someone has feelings about it. But does the world fall apart? Does your career end? Do your friendships implode? Do your children become emotionally scarred? No, none of those things happen. What does happen is you protect your own time, energy, and sanity. And that matters. It matters as much as keeping everyone else happy matters. In fact, I'd say it matters more. The key is not to overhaul your entire life in 1 week. The key is to start small. Pick something where you know instantly, you feel it in your gut, that you don't want to say yes. It might be something tiny: a volunteer task, a social commitment, an extra shift, a favor that derails your only hour of downtime, or a favor that occupies your lazy Friday night at home with the kids eating pizza and watching Elf. And when the request comes, don't launch into a dissertation about why you can't do it. Don't explain, don't defend, don't apologize. Don't say, let me check and get back to you. Just say, thank you for thinking of me, but I can't do that right now. And then stop talking and let the silence do the work. The sky will not fall, but your nervous system may need practice to realize that. So here's a truth that stings a little. The people who get the most upset when you set a boundary are the people who benefited from you having none. Let me say that again. Sit with that for a minute. The people who get the most upset when you set a boundary are the people who benefited from you having none. When you're the go-to person, the fixer, the sure I'll take care of that person, people get used to that. Your lack of boundaries has been very convenient for them. So when you stop overgiving, they might react. But here's the reframe. That reaction is not a sign that your boundary is wrong. It's a sign that your boundary is working. It's not your job to manage other people's emotions. Your job is to manage your thoughts, your time, your energy, and your well-being. When you do that, you actually get to show up better for the things, the people that matter the most in your life. So let's talk about what's on the other side of that initial discomfort. Let's talk about what you gain when you hold a boundary. Because the first no feels awful, but the 10th, the 20th, the 50th, those feel like freedom. You gain more margin, more rest, more white space in your calendar, more presence with your family, more respect from others and from yourself, and more alignment with the life you actually want to live. Boundaries are a practice, not a skill you master once, but a practice that you return to again and again. Holding a boundary is teaching yourself that you keep your promises to yourself. It's teaching your brain that you can trust yourself, that you have your own back. Every time you say no to something that doesn't align with your values, you're saying yes to something that does. So this week, I want to leave you with a simple challenge. Pick one small boundary, one tiny no that protects your energy, and say it out loud. Say it without apology and without explanation, and notice what happens. Notice how your body reacts. Notice what story your brain tries to tell you. And then notice that you survived it. The world didn't end. Nothing ran up behind you out of the woods to eat you. You are allowed to say no. Your time is valuable. Your well-being matters. And you don't need anyone else's permission to protect it. Thanks for joining me today on Navigating Possibility. If this message resonated with you, especially this time of year, please take a second to share this episode with a colleague who needs it. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a review because it helps other physicians find the show. And if you're ready for deeper support in navigating burnout and boundaries, look in the show notes for my website. I have some availability for one-on-one coaching sessions, and I'd love to walk with you through what's troubling you and help you unlock your inner wisdom to improve your life. Also, my group coaching program is almost ready to launch, working on the landing page today. You can sign up for the wait list on my website at ChristinaAdamsMD.com. Until next time, in this crazy season, give yourself permission to pause. And remember, peace is always a possibility. Sometimes you just have to say no first.